This week on Broke Things Under Sale. It's not looking good in there.
It's now slowly leaking diesel into the bilge.
Here's another one, pretty shitty.
We screwed up.
Those three things suck, so we might be cooked on that.
Right, I'm smart as hell and I think ahead.
Can't open and close the boat anymore. Last week, we finally got most of the engine back together, and things were starting to move in the right direction again. The whole work outside was making good progress, parts were starting to show up, and in between all the work, we were still enjoying life down here with Tiki and making the most of our time in Chiapas. But there was still a huge amount of work to do before we could put this boat back in the water. This week, I wanted to finish the engine wiring, clean up some remaining problems in the engine room, and keep pushing forward while the work on the hull was still underway. But before I could get into any of that, I still needed to access the electronics cabinet where all the engine wiring ran. And after avoiding it for way too long, it was time to get that damn thing open. Now we just got to get the wiring in order to start this thing, but the problem is all the wiring runs here to this electronics cabinet, and this lock broke on us. So I had my buddy try to lockpick it for like 3 hours the other day. Couldn't get it open, so there's not a lot of options. I either drill this out, which I don't think will work, or I cut that hinge off. It's going to be very hard to cut this hinge off without digging up the wood any more than it is. We got to get that open because it's really impeding my progress right now, and I've been putting it off. All right, I've taped off a little safety back plate here, so I'm going to try to carefully cut this with the multi-tool, both these hinges, and then hopefully I can get this damn door off finally once and for all. All right, here goes nothing. We got it. That's hinge number one. We're going to go for the last one here. But I don't have anything to rest my hand on like I did before. Actually, I'll stack these bins. Okay, round two. Tape slipped a little bit on that one. We got a little bit of damage, but that's all right. Alright, I should be able to bend that off now. And we got it. And as you can see, all of our electronics on the walls and all of our wiring runs back into this cabinet, and we could not get it open. And I'm trying to finish wiring this engine up, and I need to trace some wires, so we have got it open. And this lock was not gonna open though. I might have been able to drill that out. Who knows? Right, we got out of that with a lot less damage than anticipated. Nothing on the wood behind the latch. Little notch here on the door. And this is where the penny slipped. So I could probably sand that out. But really, man, that's about as good as you can ask for doing that. That was sketchy. But all right, we have access. She is off. With that out of the way, it was time to make some progress. We're on the other side of the engine now. So now we are going to kind of strip down and figure out this original wiring mess, because it's always causing us problems and we have non-stop gauge issues and alarm issues and everything like that. So I'm basically gonna strip out the excess wires, the old wiring we're no longer using. I need to cut out some bad parts of wire. I need to resplice terminal ends, and then we're gonna simplify this and bulletproof it basically. So that way we don't have to keep messing with this stuff underway. So it's overdue, and we're gonna knock it out now. Let's go ahead and get started, I guess. I was finishing up the wiring and the heat gun shorted out on me. And that scared me, bro, let me tell you. So I took a closer look at it, peeling back a cut on the insulation I saw, and then I figured out what happened. That's why you don't lend your tools to anybody. I let somebody borrow my heat gun, man, and it came back like this. And I was just using it, and it just tripped the breaker, man. It shorted out in here. Now I'm gonna splice these things back together, and then heat shrink these things, and then we'll get going on to what I was supposed to be doing. Remember to always worry about lending your tools to people, man. They're not gonna come back the way you gave it to them. I know it's stupid to heat shrink a wire that you're using, but don't really have much choice in it at the moment. So I'll let it cool down a sec, and then I will put this larger heat shrink over it, and then we'll be done, and we'll be back to regular work like we're supposed to be doing. All right, good as new, basically.
With the wiring finally wrapped up, the engine was ready to go. But before moving on to the next big jobs, I had a slightly more important repair to deal with first. I managed to break my Costa glasses again after a fun night down at the pool. So naturally, it was time for another fiberglass repair.
And these poor Costa glasses, these things are insanely durable. I'm pretty surprised. These went through like 4 or 5 years of super hard use, and that included 2 years of guiding every day in Colombia, which was super hard on the glasses, and then even this last year of sailing and fixing things nonstop. Only problem I keep having is I keep snapping these, and I keep having to build up fiberglass to keep it together. And I just broke it the other night again. And as long as you keep epoxying these frames together, they'll keep rolling. So it broke right after the epoxy last time. So I'm gonna super glue it in place straight, and we're gonna go mix some epoxy and try to fix them again. Yeah, this is cruising life, I tell you. Anyway, we got it super glued on now, so once that's strong enough for me to mess with epoxy on it, I'm gonna take it downstairs to where the guys are filling blisters. We'll epoxy that bad boy again. She gets a little fatter every time. You can see the layers of glass as we go, as we break. All right, we're back in business. Did a much better job this time. You can see further down, you can't see the fiberglass layers. My previous one you can. So soon I'll be repairing Costa's brand new. We got a new shipment of epoxy to finish out this whole job, 2 gallons. So hopefully that does it, because it is expensive. But we're making some headway. When it was full of bottom paint, we would just ground out all the blisters that we could see. Once we got down, we had to keep grinding. We're down to basically bare glass in most of the places. But you can see there was blister repairs done before that were done too quick. So ones like this, these had been done previously, and they didn't dry it out or clean it out fully enough, and water still got in them. So, but yeah, like you can see here, this was a previous blister repair, and it's not looking good in there. So here's another one. It's pretty shitty. So yeah, anyway, they're filling. We're finding more as we go. But we're making some progress on it. It was a lot of work. All right, the boys have finished up. They made quick work of it. Everything's filled in and faired out as well as it can be. Check that out. It was a lot of them. A lot of them, but the hole's looking good. It's looking smooth. Everything's dried out. These guys know of a place in town that sells gel coat, so we got some gel coat on the way. It's pretty cheap, thankfully. Throw a couple layers of gel coat on here, build it up, smooth it out a bit, and then we'll throw the barrier coat on, which is already here waiting. And then after that, we're gonna do the gel coat and wait, because I still got work to do. We can't put it in the water yet. And then hopefully within a month we'll be ready to go in.
With work moving along on the hole down below, it was time to move on to a bunch of little engine room jobs.
So I'm taking a break from the engine. We're taking care of some other stuff that needed to be done. We had a leaking check valve in our fresh water, so I changed that out. And also, I needed to change out the line for the bilge pump because it was so hard and dried up. You can see it here. Thing's about to crack. So I got some spare 1 inch from the other plumbing jobs I did. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. I'm not gonna be able to address this yet, but we can't use the water maker. One or both these sensors failed on us, so it doesn't want to produce water. Also, the membrane is 10 years old and original from when we got it. It really needs to be replaced. So that's gonna be at least $400 or $500. Not gonna be able to do that for now. I think we'll just leave it pickled and just keep filling up with jugs like we've been doing. I mean, we made it this far with jugs. It's a pain, but I'm not gonna keep us here over that. What else we got? Our wet exhaust hose is pretty old and in pretty bad shape, and it is chafed in quite a few places. So I'm really gonna need to replace that. Only problem is it is super expensive. I mean, just for this like 14-foot length of wet exhaust hose, I think it's $2.25 or $2.50. $800. I'm just gonna do a good check over it. I'm probably gonna put some chafe protection on the areas that have been chafing, and then we'll just ride with it, I think, and maybe worry about it down in Panama or something. And then last but not least, We have a leak in our port fuel tank right there. Not really much I can do about it. I think I'm just gonna do a temporary patch job because at some point we're gonna have to replace these tanks. I mean, they're old, mild steel painted tanks. It's just gonna be something we have to do in the future, and it's gonna be a big job. But for now, I think I'm gonna clean up the area as best I can and throw some tank weld on it and keep that tank from slowly leaking into the bilge. And we'll just call it a day with that for now.
It's kind of hard to see, but somebody had put an epoxy plug in I guess a hole or a leak at some point in the fuel tank. It's now slowly leaking diesel into the bilge. So I'm sanding the outside of that thing.
Get it to bare metal, and we're gonna throw some tank weld on it. Alright, that's what we got.
Dude, trust me, I know, but it's just gonna have to work for now. You happy?
I'm so happy. Look at our hole. Look at that.
It's done.
A little bit uneven, but they'll do some sanding. We're gonna let it hang out like this for probably a month while we finish up inside. And I got stuff on order too, like the prop speed and all that. So we'll finish up inside, finish up top, and then we'll go ahead and throw the barrier coat on here. Barrier coat and the bottom paint, new zincs, prop speed, and then we'll be putting her in. Way better than it was, that's for sure.
With most of the engine room work knocked out, things were starting to really come along. The engine was ready to go. The next issue started to take center stage at this point. It was predicted to be a super El Niño year, and the rainy season was starting to show up much sooner than it had last year. With leaks all over this boat, we really needed to start shifting focus toward getting everything resealed before the weather fully set in. It was time to start tackling the massive resealing job this boat desperately needed before we could finally get back in the water.
First load of stuff from the storage unit from the other boat. So there's a bunch of hardware and a bunch of little pieces that I've been trying to find. So I'm gonna go through it now because we got some work to do, especially on the windows. Like all these little aluminum pieces and packings go on the outside of the hatches, and ours are in bad shape and all our packings are split, so it's leaking. This is a lot of the leaks in our windows. So I found these. I mean, just that's a win. So I don't even know how the hell I'd get these any other way. So yeah, we're gonna go through all these bins. I'm gonna sort it into my bins and sort the hardware and see what we got here. And then I got probably another couple trips of small stuff like this to do, and then we'll know what we have for all these jobs coming up. So that'll be nice. So hopefully there's some more good stuff like those little window pieces. Those are a really nice find. So this is what we got to do. We have a lot of resealing to do. So all 6 of our hatches are gonna come out and be resealed, and we're gonna replace them with the hatches from the other boat because they're better quality. After that, it's gonna get a little bit more difficult. We're gonna pull out all of our portholes and port hatches, and we have to reseal all those since most of those are leaking as well. We have to pull this Companionway hatch cover in the front, replace our Companionway door with the one from the other boat, and then we have to reseal all that because this leaks as well. Then we have to pull out every single pilot house window, reseal those. That's really gonna suck. So we'll do that last after we've built some momentum. Then what do we got to do? Then we need to reseal our mast boot here since that thing is leaking on us. And then last but not least, we got to pull up all these little top covers on our chain plates and put some more silicone in there since those are leaking. So that's about it. That's gonna be a big job. We got our first hatch off. So we're gonna clean it up. It looked a lot worse before, but she's already cleaned a good amount up, so now it looks pretty good. So we're gonna get it down to bare glass or gel coated glass, whatever it is, and then clean up the frame and put it on. How's it coming?
Pretty good. It's really hot. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the sun. Okay, we're gonna install the hatches backwards for airflow. Problem is the holes are slightly off on some of them. So I think what we're gonna do is just slightly over drill all the holes, clean them out, and then we're gonna put in like thickened fiberglass filler.
My apologies, we kind of sucked filming the resealing of this hatch. Also, it was really windy that day. We don't have the best gear, so the audio was pretty bad quality. But stay tuned for future episodes because we get really in-depth resealing hatches and windows for people who like that kind of thing.
I can't.
Let's pop it.
I can't.
We screwed up.
Go on.
There's an inner lip on the fiberglass that's higher than the rest of it, so this thing was super high and it wasn't sealing, so we're gonna have to pull it all the way back up, re-mess with it. We don't have any more butyl like this, so we're gonna have to make it work. So let's get one hatch good and then figure out what we're gonna do. Well, I've mutilated the butyl. Hopefully I didn't kind of screw up any of the sticking or sealing properties of it, but I did thin out the inner edge where it's higher up, and then I'm also taking out where the screw holes are, because the bottom of the screw holes on the hatch, they divot down, so hopefully they'll bed into there, and then hopefully it's a lot better fit, so we shall see. Forward hatch is sealed in much better with the dicking around I did with the butyl tape, so it definitely looks a lot better. It's a lot flatter, but we did all this work to turn this hatch around so we can get airflow, but we tried repurposing these old hatches from the other boat because they're a little bit better than ours, but anytime you put weight on it, it unlatches. So the first wave we take over the bow is gonna unlatch it, and the next one is gonna rip it off and go right in the boat. So we might be cooked on that, because these are pretty old compression latches here, so I don't know, that's too bad. I'll see if we can do something else for the latching mechanism. It looks a lot better and it's a lot flatter, and I can clean up the butyl when I'm done sealing it. It'll take a couple days of going around and screwing it tighter. All right, so unfortunately the butyl tape we ordered was the wrong size, so we can't continue resealing hatches. So I'm gonna shift gears here real quick, and we're gonna do something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Companionway hatch is a leaky mess. Water runs down these channels in the back and drips everywhere in there. There's also a few leaks on this forward hatch cover. And this is an aftermarket cut plexiglass piece. It doesn't fit right, and it's too thin for the channel. So it basically, you know, it allows space and wind to get through, and it doesn't fit correctly with this door. So I got a direct replacement, but from the donor boat here, we got a much better condition hatch. And then I also have the proper size of this piece, which is in the seat right now. We're gonna remove this hatch here. I'm gonna reseal wherever the leaks are in the back. I'll reseal that as well. And then, yeah, we'll throw the new door on and our new plexiglass piece on, and we should be in a lot better shape. So that'll be nice. Also, these things are kind of screwed up on ours, these metal retainers. Ours are bent out over the years, and it also stripped out the screw holes in the fiberglass. So I'm gonna put some thickened epoxy in here and re-drill them out, make them strong again. And then I'm gonna replace these stainless pieces with the ones I got from the other boat too. All right, let's move on here. So we're gonna take the door off now. Fortunately, you can't pull the door off by sliding it all the way out because the pedestal's in the way. So what we're gonna do is take off all these screws in the back here, push the door all the way back, take off all the other screws, and then just take the sliding pieces and the door off altogether. And then we'll stick it on the new one down there. She's off. We gotta clean up this channels, clean up the sealant, and then this channel in here is where water is running in down there. So we'll figure out how to seal up this. But other than that, shouldn't be too difficult. Got the old nasty door off. Right, I'm smart as hell and I think ahead, so I got something else out of the other boat that we needed. So look at this. It looks like crap and it's cracked. Look at that one. That one looks good. right, she's all cleaned up for the first time in probably 40 years. We got the channels all clean of dirt and crap. She's gonna move beautifully. So what I'm gonna do now is throw some butyl under here. We'll seal that, and then we'll seal our new beautiful piece to that, like so. And then we'll put the tracks on and put the new door on. Okay, look at that, new piece of wood. And she's all sealed up, hopefully. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the door on for now. I might take it off tomorrow and retighten these screws. I really wanna make sure that thing is fully seated. And I might spray some water in there. But yeah, for now I'm gonna get started on putting the door on with the hinges. But yeah, she's looking much, much better. A lot more work than I thought it was gonna be, just like every project, but it's almost 5 o'clock now. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'd say it was a success. It looks a lot better. And same thing with that new piece underneath. Looks way better. Then you got our old crappy wood on the sides, but yeah, I'm happy with it. Job well done, and it works great. All right, I got that top hatch piece cleaned up. Only problem is though, there's a pretty serious crack and break off in the bolt hole here. I'm gonna try to fix this. I think I'm gonna sand the inside and outside a bit, and maybe figure out a way to fiberglass or thicken epoxy repair that or something, because otherwise it's gonna leak and look like shit. So I'll go ahead and sand it and see what we can do. All right, we're all set up here, so I'm gonna cut out some little patches for this corner, and we'll go ahead and get it fiberglass and be done with it. Yeah, I got her sanded down. Not the prettiest, but she's definitely a lot stronger. And then we got some thickened epoxy where the screw hole is, and then I'll fill the rest with gel coat like it was before, but it's definitely way stronger. I mean, that's like 3 pieces of glass right there. I got these screw hole areas cleaned up, and I oversized drilled the ones that are stripped out, so the top 2 and the top 2 here. So we'll shove some thickened epoxy in there, let it cure, and then we'll re-drill out a hole.
This door ended up taking me way longer than I thought it was going to take me, as boat projects often do. So my apologies on that. Kind of the rest of this is me jump cutting as I finish each part of the door, but I'd definitely get better at this in the future.
Okay, she's done. We got the new whatever they're called in, nice and straight. They're in there solid. New screw holes because the pattern was different. I have to reuse the center screw holes though, and there's epoxy curing in them now, so I'll wait to drill those. But yeah, it all looks good. So I'm gonna go grab the top piece now. I guess we'll put that thing on there. And then the final thing will be sanding down that piece of plexiglass to fit, and we will have done the companionway. All right, it's all done, looks good, except for one thing. Can't open and close the boat anymore. So I'm going to have to sand these wood pieces down, and there's one behind there that doesn't let me pull it out all the way. So hopefully I can just bend these tabs for a minute and slide the door out all the way, or else I got to pull these things all the way off. All right, we got her all taped off. I really want to keep down the mess that gets inside those tracks since I just cleaned them out beautifully. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take this piece down so it fits in there properly, and then we'll figure out how to do the one that's stuck back in there. I really don't want to pull that thing back off, so. All right, problem 1 resolved. She is good to go. But now there's one stuck back behind there, and I've already put these metal plates on, so I can't get the door out. Maybe I can just bend these things, because I really don't want to pull those back off. Yeah, always something. Part of the fun, though. Something like that. All right, we got the back one out. I'm taping it up. Don't judge me. I was too lazy to pull off our new things, so I bent our new things. But I'll bend them back. Whatever, man. I'm not pulling those things back off for this. So I'm just gonna tape up under here, and then we'll sand it. I think I'll probably oil these things while I'm at it, since they're gonna be freshly sanded anyway, and just be done with it. All right, 3 days later, I'm finally done. I just gotta put the last couple screws on here. But we got the new plexiglass door sanded in, fits great. Wood's looking good. I teak-oiled it after I sanded it, and we have clearance now, no problem. And we're sealed, so hopefully that is it. We're done with the Companionway. Worth the trouble though, I mean it looks way, way better. And hopefully it won't be leaking.
Next week on Fish Under Sail.
Call is pissed.
Well,
This is the first time we're gonna be able to see out of it.
it's impossible to get this window out. Pretty stupid, but if it works, it ain't gonna be that stupid, is it?
It looks like there's a crack.
Extra day keeps the doctors away. Which is good, because I don't have health insurance. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. But like, for real, I actually do. So keep doing it. And yeah, thanks.